G'day friends and fans. Welcome to Dave Talks Stuff. And today, the male feminist, right? They're threatened by MGTOW. Now, one may be aware of Gentleman Quarterly. It's a failing rag like so many state-subsidised mouthpieces. They are run by the snobs, the look down their noses, the aristocrats, anointed by themselves, of course, to be the gatekeepers of society, to be the masters of all that they survey. They form their little cliques and they have their little parties and they give each other awards. But at the end of the day, they're phonies. Now, Tony should have been spelt with an I, Parsons, is a hack whose publication most likely bought his novels. An award-winning journalist, and by award I mean he got an award from Gentleman Quarterly for being a Gentleman Quarterly journalist. He began his career as a a mouthpiece for the music industry. Proved that he's a good little, what's the word I'm looking for? Sycophant! Yes, so he got a Sycophant of the Year award from GQ. So your employer gave you an award for being a little British cigarette. He's got a lot of British cigarettes in his mouth, right? But the men going away, we're the Taliban, everybody! Woo! Oh, he's so stunning, so brave! Round of applause! Round of applause! He's so clever! Round of applause, everybody! Oh, he's so clever! Oh! Oh, look at that! His well-spanked weenie! His well-spanked weenie. Look at that. I say weenie and look at the ad. All right. So, don't need to read the whole thing. He gives a brief explanation about the origin of the word red pill. Well, in the modern era, anyway. And he gives an Alice in the Wonderland twist to the story. Right? Which is pretty true, but believe what you want to believe, right? But no, in the manosphere, it's 50,000 shades of misogyny, everybody. Woo! I'm so clever. I can be funny and... Yeah. And talking about the bitter truth and all that. Of course, who does he interview? Donna Zuckerberg. Oh! Wow. So, good news, everybody. Women are not pieces of meat and are poisonous, according to Donna Zuckerberg. There's a name that inspires trust, right? You can trust the Zuckerberg, right? Every single time. Oh, we're all incels, everybody. Oh, yes. And of course, we're pickup artists. So we're incels and we're pickup artists. Which is it? Which is it? You know, they can't... If you cannot correctly define the movement, but of course this is what they do, right? Social shaming, right? You don't want to hang out with those bad boys. Woo! Now, they're talking about platonic relationships and sex workers and obsessed with women and cries for help. I mean, there's one that says you got to put a bitch in a place. Unleash the beef. Beefcake, really. Have you seen the fantasy genre lately? Thousands of erotic tales by women talking about women being ravished by vampires and werewolves and cowboys naked on the front cover. Yeah. But the reality is that this is just another sad, lonely misandrist interviewing another sad, lonely misandrist. But it's interesting that it comes from a Zuckerberg. I mean, a name made up to protect the guilty. It means Sugar Mountain. It was made up in the 1880s, after the failed revolution. The people who fled Germany after their failed revolution. What a shock, right? But now they're talking about porn on tap, bean slapping and backlash and Me Too, and we're all sad sacks, everybody. Oh, we're all crying in each other's soup. You know, this all sounds like
emotional damage.
But come on, 27% of men polled have avoided one-on-one meetings with women in North Korea. And a North Korean male feminist come after me, right? Well, I wouldn't say North Korean. He was Korean, a propagandist. And he's based in America, of course, you know. Talking about male feminism. They all have the same story. They all think of us as, we're just weak because we won't have one-on-one meetings with women. No. This insufferable British cigarette wants you to submit to the system. Right? They want you to be a victim of women's gluttony, greed, wrath, and ultimately he is envious of us because we are free of the system and he is not. He has to make his tea and bickies, you know, 50,000 anti-women topics. And again, you know, he has to sit down with an insufferable, wonderful, well-informed Ms. Zuckerberg and listen to her drone on about, if you criticize her, she'll destroy your career and other conspiracy theories. Wow. Wow. You know, getting to the point where we need to say, shut up! This guy is an insufferable turd. Right? He wants to even admits that it's genuine. But it's terror. It's genuine terror. They claim we spent all our formative years on catchy manosphere acronyms and pornography, watching women through the distorted lens of pornography. What do women read? Romance novels, right? 80% of books are romance novels. 90% of book readers are women. 77% of YouTubers are women. Women are monetized by YouTube at the rate of 2 to 1. Women get more viewers than men. But they have low-rated content and they turn to burnout quickly, right? They're less productive. Oh, now he's talking to Rachel Storm. Another glorious... Yes, she's a professor at Waits University. So obviously, this is the tyranny of experts, right? They're experts on everything. Look around you. The experts in charge, right? Can they build another Empire State Building? Can they build another... look at the trouble, Notre Dame. Look how long it took them to build a regular stadium. Right? But we're sorry excuses. This guy needs a regular. Right. This guy, you know, right.
Right turn, Clyde.
Now what's happened? GQ is in decline. By 2021, GQ magazine started to shift away from traditional print. They were going broke. They had a decline. The entire magazine industry was in decline. They were losing readers. And they couldn't figure out why. They still can't figure out why. So the brand remains active, but it's in decline. It has low readership, declining advertising revenue. It's digital, many issues are digital only now. And most of the stories are digital first. They no longer have most of the writers aren't staff, they're paid bloggers. Let's see. 36% decline from 2010 to 2017 and then continued decline. As it has, advertising naturally declines. If you have less viewers, you're worth less, right? They've had to have layoffs. Like I said, most of their staff are now part-timers or bloggers. You know, like it's literally a blog now run by its writers. Okay, its writers only get revenue from their stories, right? Like pennies in the dollar, right? Some of their stories are less popular than me. I mean, they're viewers. Their viewers are gone, right? And of course, they're now part of they're no longer a standalone brand either. They're just a corporate asset in a long list of big corporate assets. Their global brand predominantly now features on luxury and fashion and lifestyle, and even then it's in decline, right? It cannot appeal to a broad base, right? It cannot appeal to the snobs because it's too feminine, right? It can't appeal to the feminists because it's too masculine, right? It cannot appeal to the broad male base because it is out of touch. I say, have you got your suit from Brook Brothers yet? Oh, yes, I have. Hans Gruber recommended it to me. You know, in the world where the majority of men identify as Bruce Willis, these British cigarettes want to be Hans Gruber. You know, they think they can just walk in, own the place, easy money, and nobody will oppose them. And anybody who does, they think their sharp little witty criticisms would tear them down, and they will go, "Oh, you showed me! Oh, yes!" But this is the reality, right? End of men's magazines. Why? Because of British cigarettes. No. Little Tony is suffers from
emotional damage.
And it's all because Daddy didn't. These people are jealous of us. They really are. They want us to be they want us to suffer like they do, right? They think that the system works, the system is everything's fine, everything's normal. Nothing to see here, folks. But the reality is, we all see it. Feminism destroys every civilization every single time. And of course, look who he interviews. He doesn't even interview MGTOW. He interviews a couple of feminists, right? He interviews a Zuckerberg and a Strom, right? So it's a Strom. I thought you went down with, I thought you went down off the coast of Greece. I thought Bond got you. Yeah, but that's the reality we're facing, isn't it? And the thing is, we can weather it's content. It's humor to us. So, thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please support the channel. You support me on Ko-Fi, Patreon, buy my books, buy my merch. All my links are in the link tree description below, in my profile. Scan the QR code on the screen. Every story has a purpose. It's all leading to somewhere. With a great and amusing. It's a long journey. My writing is a long journey, and I may only have a handful of fans, but they appreciate me, and I appreciate them. And I think, these, I'm getting to the point where I look at all the troubles of J.K. Rowling, and her legacy is in tatters, and her reputation's in tatters, and she's ever having to satisfy her clique, and it's an ever-shrinking world for these snobs, these pat yourselves on the backs. No, they don't know what true friendship is. They live in a world of snide remarks, backstabbing, fakery, and betrayal. I am sad to say I read Harry Potter, but I'm so glad I put it down when I realized that it was a book about dividing people into classes, that there's a special secret class, and they have their own secret little clubs, and that is the true meaning of Harry Potter. It is nothing but snobbery, backstabbing, and insufferable little Hermiones. And British cigarettes. So, take care. See you in the next video. Bye for now.